of not just a Zoom-like convention.
All right, hold on. Keep in mind, an intern was sucking Bill Clinton's in the Oval Office while these two were working for him.
Well,
your vote, Mike Geary's vote, decides who the president of the United States is. Who do you vote for?
Trump.
Okay, well,
I know we're canceled.
get rid of that. Night 2 Republican convention, Steve. Any highlights?
Yeah, I thought it started off the very good with Republicans embracing the identity politics. Like you have a woman come up who says a prayer for Jason Blake, the guy who was shot in Kenosha. And then you've got the vice president.
Is it Jacob?
Of Yeah, Jacob. Sorry, Jacob. Yeah. And then the vice president of Navajo Nation comes up. And then this guy, John Ponder, who was, I guess he robbed a bank when he was a kid. And then later had a partnership with the FBI agent who arrested him. Yep. Started a nonprofit that works with ex-cons to keep him out of jail and everything. And now the media is doing everything they fucking can to attack this guy. Like Ken Vogel from the New York Times is like, this guy runs a nonprofit. Should he really be speaking at an RNC? Well, it's like, what the fuck are we doing?
What does that
Trump's
even mean?
pardoning people last night. It's a very emotional night.
Ponder's
pardoned him last night. Very emotional night. And then he's using the White House and the Rose and then the Oval Office. And
he's shattering norms.
Seems like there's certain members of the media didn't like that.
Illegal. He's committing crimes.
Let me tell you, friend, have you ever heard about the Hatch Act?
Yes. Did you get the sound I sent you or no?
Yes, I did.
So after last night, George Stephanopoulos and is it Rahm Emanuel? Was he on the? Yeah, two veterans, of course, of the Clinton administration.
Emanuel also of Obama. He was Obama's chief of staff.
Yes,
for the
correct.
first term.
Right. I know, but it's more applicable when you realize the sound of it in a second. But when you think about it, like the three major networks, not what it means what it used to be, obviously, but one of the anchors, like the anchor of ABC's news coverage, is a guy who worked in the Clinton administration. Like, I mean, just imagine flipping that. Like, imagine Sean Spicer being the NBC.
It wouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, that's about what it is. Or
Sean Spicer does have a huge show on Netflix.
That's true.
I mean, Newsmax.
Yes,
but it has all changed because, like, if you could use the Trump example, obviously, but like someone that worked for Bush could be on regular news, I would think.
Well, Nicole Wallace is.
Yeah,
but she's not the anchor.
Right.
Like,
and she's also totally left wing now.
Yeah, she's completely flipped. But like you look at it, like, you know, there. I say Sean Spicer, but I'm trying to think of although Stephanopoulos for a while was the spokesperson at the White House at the beginning. I mean, I'm trying to think of
he was
somebody
press secretary.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of somebody who had a substantial policy role like he did for whatever. I mean, pick whoever. I mean, I guess Steve Bannon's obviously too obvious, but I mean, it would just never happen. And they don't even think about like
Sarah Huckabee Sanders or something.
Yeah, I mean,
or Kellyanne Conway.
Right.
Kellyanne Conway going
like
and getting
Lawrence
a job.
O'Donnell has his own show, and all, it's just like it's
the difference is these are villains. These are evil villains
Correct.
that we have to fight against.
So these two people who worked for Bill Clinton weighed in last night on Trump using the White House for the RNC.
Emmanuel, it is a strategy born of necessity here during the COVID crisis, but you and I were both shaking our heads as we were watching that. We served in the White House during a re-election campaign. Mm-hmm. Unimaginable. Again, there was no COVID then. Mm-hmm. Unimaginable you could use the White House.
I was going to say, in all due respect to putting this on COVID, it is not COVID. This is a president who has always broken the boundaries. He doesn't think the law applies to him.
But this isn't what he wanted to do tonight.
No. Of course, but given that, does he want 100,000 people chanting Trump 4 more years? Of course, but this is breaking the boundaries of not just a Zoom-like convention.
Hold on. Keep in mind, an intern was sucking Bill Clinton's dick in the Oval Office while these two were working for him.
Well, that's also breaking some boundaries.
I mean, literally, she was in the Oval Office, recorded 9 times, sucking his dick. She was an intern. Such a rape. I mean, really, in my opinion. I mean, really. I mean, you can't use. There's no more power. I mean, I feel like this is kind of an abuse of power.
I don't know if that would be rape. Clinton's probably thrown a few rapes in his day, but I don't know if that one.
Clinton's a rapist for sure. But whatever. I mean,
the power dynamic makes it inappropriate. I guess we can call it sexual misconduct in the Oval Office
of the highest order. Yeah, of the highest order. Rape? No, fine. But whatever it is, I would say used his influence strongly inside that. I'd say to me that's a little more offensive than Donald Trump having some fucking infomercial. And where do you want him to have it?
I think.
At least Stephanopoulos was kind of like, well, what's he supposed to do? Like, I mean, like, where would you like him to have it?
If this is what their criticism amounts to, then they don't really have much.
Right. I mean, I'm fine with you want to have him do it because we're pretending this building is so special. A building again where an intern went in and sucked your boss's cock
Not even that. Just
He
for,
shoved a fucking cigar in her vagina in that. Am I right?
Yes.
While he was on the phone with fucking world leaders.
I'm sure Stephanopoulos would prefer that they were just renting out rooms in the White House to donors who cut checks for
Yeah, like the Lincoln
$50,000 to the RNC.
But I mean, like, you want to do it like where? To Marriott across the street? Does it? I mean, great.
Yeah.
What does that do?
Oh, so no.
it doesn't break the law. That's what it does, pal.
If he went to Mar-a-Lago and did it, they'd be like, "Oh, he's giving money to himself. He's self-dealing."
Yeah, just the hypocrisy of those two idiots. I mean, it just made me laugh. I don't know.
I thought the having Nicholas Sandman on was pretty good, and then the coverage of it has been just gross.
Sandman was excellent.
I did think though, like I was saying to Steve before that, like as someone who's probably not going to vote at all, or an undecided voter, let's say, something like that is more interesting to me than some fucking celebrity
Boy, Mike
or
is
a
the
senator
most
who, you know,
easily influenced voter in America.
Jake Auchincloss and Nick Sandman are my guys.
He is the undecided voter.
I always think of people like who would be influenced by this, and there's Mike. Like, oh, you know what?
No, but that's much more interesting than some celebrity endorsement. He has a real story.
I totally agree with that.
The thing is,
that not even a celeb, but even like these boring congressmen who just come out and just do that. No, that I agree with.
it's voters like Mike though who decide all of the
Don't say
elections.
that.
You're damn
Don't say
right.
that.
It really
Don't say
is.
that. I know it is.
The country.
I know it is. Believe me. I know it is.
I could decide to vote and change this country.
A third of the country votes exactly like Mike does, and they are the deciding factor in every election.
As Mike always says, there's a reason why the 6 Supreme Court justices laid out the system the way it is. So guys like us can vote for president.
That's right.
I know. I mean, so we're going to vote for right now if the election were today, Mike.
No one. If I had to vote,
Okay, we'll play the game out. We'll play the game. Complete tie. It's like that terrible Kevin Costner movie, Swing Vote.
Yeah,
Your vote, Mike Geary's vote, decides who the president of the United States is. Who do you vote for?
Trump.
Okay, well,
I know we're canceled.
get rid of that.
Listen, I got a few bucks in the stock market now.
That's true.
I got to vote the right way, baby.
I actually think both now would be amusing either way because
Yeah.
Biden is so lost. Like that would actually be comical.
Kamala Harris as a president scares me.
That
She's,
would
she's an
be-
authoritarian. She just doesn't seem like she's very friendly to the libertarian worldview.
I will say this though, she is smart. I always go for smart. She's not dumb. Oh, I bet she's not dumb.
How weird will it be?
She's not dumb. She's not dumb.
Have you seen her answering the questions when she isn't prepared, when she doesn't have notes in front of her?
Yeah, but
she just cackles and says that's a distraction.
She's dumb.
She's conniving.
She's not dumb. She's not dumb. Well, conniving is not dumb.
I think she's conniving in a Willie Brown kind of way.
Why? Because she was dating them once.
For a very
Did I
long
watch
period of
about
time.
call
It was
like a
huge-
prostitute last week or something?
Yeah, I think so.
An asshole.
How fun
How'd
will
that
it
lunch?
be?
How'd that lunch taste?
How fun will it be for this show though? When if Biden does win and then dies on like November 18th or something,
God.
and it's just and the media will never find any conspiracy.
It'd be like the movie Dave. Like they would be fine. They could honestly bring in like a Biden lookalike, and the media would not say what's happening. It would be like a bad lookalike. It'd be like 48.
He's got brown hair.
Yeah. It'd be like it'd be like fucking 4'8" or something, and they'd be like, oh, but Biden looks great.
I'm not gonna lie. There was a part of me when he was giving his DNC acceptance speech. I was looking at the video real close, like, is that Biden?
I think it was him.
They bring in a robot.
Those fake choppers were definitely his. But yeah, I'm leaning toward Trump now myself.
All right.
Wow, big news.
I know. I'm not saying I'm gonna vote for him. I don't want to vote for either one of them. But this libertarian candidate, even by libertarian standards, is whacked. So I don't know.
I would like Trump to win because he makes people I don't like upset.
I agree. I want Trump. I want Trump to win so I can watch MSNBC again, like I did 4 years ago that night. It's just wonderful. It's wonderful to watch.
And Donnie Jr.'s our guy. We're always hanging and
That's true.
shooting the
It's a good-
shit with
it's a
him.
good
You know.
point. It's a good point. I never
Yeah,
thought
he's
of
our
that.
buddy.
And I will say, I mean, we pointed out yesterday, but the trend continues last night. All these major Democrat cities setting themselves on fire and having riots and screaming at people who are eating at a restaurant outside because they don't want to. And then the media hypocrisy. They would complain about COVID transmission if it was a reopening protest or
Did you
something
see
like
this?
that.
This one restaurant
completely
is screaming.
fucking ignore it.
One of them is a Deadspin writer. This asshole.